When he finally opened his eyes, Torval found it was lying flat on his back in the snow, staring up at the sky. Moonless, clear sky, littered with stars. What's more, he had a very bad headache. He felt something cold on his face. Was he bleeding? Tenderly, he pulled the glove from his left hand and stroked his cheek, and squinted at the tips of his fingers to see if they were red. They weren't, but they were covered in slather. It was at that point the reindeer decided to lick him again. "Ew," said Torval, wiping his face with the back of his sleeve. "Shoo," he said, waving his arms. The reindeer looked in surprise. "I'm sorry," it said. "I'm guessing you're not very tactile. Though you are alive, which is a bonus." Torval, who had never met a talking reindeer before, stared back in disbelief. "What's the problem?" said the reindeer. Have I got a bit of licking on my teeth? Where's a frozen puddle when you need one, eh? Ah, here we go." Taking a deep breath, he blew the snow off a small section of ice very close to Torval's face and examined his front teeth. "That is one clean grill." And then, "Sorry, I seem to have caught you with a couple of snowflakes there," he said, huffing the snow from where it landed on Torval's glasses. Torval continued to stare, not quite sure what to say. "Oh," said the reindeer. "It's a talking thing, isn't it? I always forget. People say to me, 'It's amazing that you can talk.' And I say, 'Anyone can talk. What's amazing is that I can connect.'" Wondering if this bump on the head had somehow affected his brain, Torval decided to try and stand up. He stretched his toes and fingers to check everything was working properly, then took a deep breath and hauled himself to his feet, using the low branches of a nearby sapling. It was then that he noticed something very odd. The snow around him was freshly falling, with no signs of a crash. "Hang on," he said, trying to make sense of it. "Where's the sled?" "It doesn't exist yet," said the reindeer with a shrug. "Excuse me," said Torval, thinking he must have misheard. "Well, not as a sled," said the reindeer. "The wood exists. In fact, it's right there." And with its rather sore-looking nose, the reindeer pointed at the sapling fir tree that Torval was now propped up against. "What in the great wide pole are you talking about?" asked Torval. How could the sled he had crashed not yet exist? "The tree becomes a dog sled," exclaimed the reindeer, speaking slowly as if Torval was a small child. "It grows big and tall and then gets cut down by a woodchucker elf, then turned into planks by the lumber elf, and then carved by a woodworking elf." "Turns into planks?" asked Torval, more confused than ever. "There's not enough wood here to make a box of matches." "Not now, there isn't," agreed the reindeer. "But in 500 years, then there will be." "Say it again," asked Torval. "We're 500 years in the past," said the reindeer, wiping its sniffle from its red nose with one of its knees. 506 to be precise." "Stuff and nonsense," said Torval. "I must have hit my head harder than I thought." "Well, I can't walk home from here. It'll take all night. I'll go back to town and hire another dog sleigh. I'll probably be charged a fortune for losing this one." And with that, Torval gave a big humph and rode back towards town.